We are planning to go to a park today and do the interview. It turns out God has different plans.
That's right. God laughs when we make plans. That's how it works. We've been jinxed.
Yeah.
No interview. At least not in the park.
Yeah, we have to do it in the hotel, I guess.
Yes.
It's not working so far.
Look what you do to me. Huh? You take me away from my sunny California weather and bring me here?
It was so sunny in the morning. It was good weather. We were planning to do the interview, as you already know.
Yeah, and nothing goes as planned. So what are we going to do instead? We were going to go to a castle. We were going to go to the park.
Yeah.
And now where are we going?
I don't know. I hope this ends soon, so we can actually do what we were planning to.
Yeah.
Jennifer Thomas,
Hello.
welcome to Prague.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. It's a beautiful city.
Thank you for accepting the invitation to come to Fight Pulse, take part in our videos. By now we have filmed all the videos.
Yes, as you could tell by the way I'm walking.
So now we can talk.
Okay.
How many interviews have you done? In the
Quite a
past?
few.
Quite a few.
Yes.
So I have to try not to ask you the same question that you have answered
Well, I'll
like
just
5
give you a
times.
different answer. But then again, you'll never know which one is the true answer.
But all right, let's take a walk, I guess.
Yeah. You're gonna run into something.
Let's get out of here. All right. I would like to ask, first of all, well, how do you like the city, and how was your experience of filming with Fight Pulse, and just experience of your trip?
The trip has been wonderful so far. I mean, I slept the first 2 days, because of jet lag and everything from coming from Los Angeles. But Prague is absolutely stunning. Like I said, it's a beautiful, beautiful city with lots of history, something I'm not used to in the United States. As far as Fight Pulse, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. That was a great experience too. I think that really pushed me to another level as far as my aggressiveness. And it was short, but it was tough.
Okay.
It was intense. Fight Pulse is intense. But it was a great experience, and even though I'm a little rough around the edges, a little bruised, a little matte burn here and there, it's all good. I'm glad I was able to fight or to wrestle. So yeah.
You haven't done competitive matches on video for a while, right?
Right. To be honest with you, I never really do competitive matches ever. I only do them in sessions.
In sessions.
Yeah. So doing these for Fight Pulse, that's what I mean. It took me to another level. As far as, the guys I think were more aggressive here than in the States. But that was good because it bumped up my game. Challenged me more. And I'm not used to being challenged.
Okay.
Everything's always a piece of cake for me,
Is that one of your...
And you took me away from my cake.
Is that one of the texts on your phone?
Huh?
Is that one of the text wallpapers on your phone?
Yes, it is. It's all good.
Okay. I think you did brilliantly.
Thank you.
I enjoyed working with you. I enjoyed the matches, watching them. So thank you for that.
Yes, you're very welcome. Next question.
Next question. Let's start with the start. Can you tell me about you growing up and were you into athletics when growing up, and up until the point when you found out about pro wrestling and sessions?
I've always been an athlete. As just a little child, I used to just run, just do things that were always requiring action, physical action, and I absolutely feel like it's grown. Everything, I'm meant to be doing what I'm meant to be right now. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It's been a part of my childhood. It's grown up to doing this. And so yeah, I've always been an athlete. PE was my favorite class. Did track and field, did powder puff football. I did anything that requires a competitive edge, and beating up my brother, of course. So yeah.
Were this play fighting? For play fighting, matches with your brother, or?
Oh no, it was no play fighting. It was real fighting. There was no such thing as play fighting.
And did any of it, like, because I know among the people in the scene, people in the wrestling fetish scene, the website, the forum, etc. Many of us have experienced something when we were children that have
a
given
trigger
the spark,
moment.
a trigger moment. Did it feel like that when you were wrestling your brother? Did you pin him down, or what exactly were you doing to him, and how?
Well,
how
it's so funny because I do have one very, very vivid memory about my brother, and I was chasing him over something. I don't even remember what it was, but I grabbed him, threw him down on his back, and pinned him. And he could not do anything about it. And you could just see the frustration in his face of trying to wiggle free, and he couldn't. He was so helpless. And I just had this biggest grin on my face, like, I got you. And like, I would never think that moment ever played a part to where my life is now. But in a way, I think it is, because I really did get a thrill off of that. So now,
and to this day you do.
I relive those moments just with just not with my brother anymore. Sometimes I'd like it to be my brother because he deserves a good freaking takedown. But it's all good.
Yeah. Okay. So you were athletic. You were running, right? You said you were good at
track
sprints.
and field. Mm-hmm.
So
So it's where you get the legs from.
and
The big thunder thighs.
all right. You said that in athletics, in physical education, you beat all of the girls and many of the guys in class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what type of
Running, of
running?
course.
Okay.
Pull-ups, bar dips, jumping really high, stuff like that. I've always been very good with, stuff. I used to be really good at triple jump. You would never think I would be good at jumping with these short little legs, but I am. So yeah, those were the kind of things that I was like felt superior in compared to the others.
Okay. All right. Did you back then know that you will dedicate your life to something that involves sports, wrestling, physical side of it? No?
I had no clue.
You had no clue.
I had no clue what I was going to do with my life.
With the flow.
Yeah.
And you went.
Yeah.
But that took you to the gym, right? No?
What took me to the gym was when I got overweight from having my son.
Oh.
I never had a plan of being built and fit with muscles or anything like that.
Okay.
But I was always a runner and an athlete in school, but when I had my son, I put on a lot of weight. And so I started running again, burnt my ass off, and then hit the gym, but I never knew that I would go to this level.
Oh.
And if I never went to that level, I would have never moved to Venice Beach, and Venice Beach would have
never introduced me to the wrestling, and so I think everything kind of fell into place.
Okay.
It evolved.
Okay. You started with pro wrestling. When we're speaking about wrestling, you started with pro wrestling first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This was in Venice Beach when you were training in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me please about how it started. Who Okay, how did you learn about it?
The pro wrestling or the session wrestling?
First the pro wrestling.
The pro wrestling, I was just some guy started walking next to me on the treadmill, and he kind of was telling me that I was telling him my frustrations about competing because I was doing fitness back then, and I was saying I'm tired, I'm burnt out, I'm tired of dieting. I love the training, but I hate the dieting. And he goes, you should do wrestling, and I laughed at it at first because I never was a fan of wrestling. I never watched it on television or anything. But then I started thinking about it. I go, well, why not? Because it allows me to continue working out physically, being an athlete, but yet showing a performance side to me that I'm not used to having. And I started, and it was a rough start, but I kept with it, and here I am. I got a show on May 5th in Los Angeles. I'm still doing it pretty much 15 years later. So yeah, and then session wrestling came at the same time as pro wrestling did. So for me, session wrestling was like getting paid to do my homework, because I would learn the holds in class and just apply them for real on the men and get paid for it. It was wonderful. So it all worked hand in hand.
Now, I've seen in the interviews when people ask you about your career, your wrestling. Basically, sometimes people ask you about session wrestling, but you, in your mind, like think about pro wrestling or vice versa. Are these things not separate, like for you, or?
To me, they're not separate, but when people ask me what I do for a living, I have to separate it. Because, pro wrestling is more acceptable to the mainstream population than session wrestling is. So I feel like I have to hide my session wrestling, and I hate feeling like I have to hide it because I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong.
Now, speaking of that, we have had a long conversation a couple of days ago about it. But you say that for you, like you personally think, you personally would like session wrestling to be more mainstream.
More socially acceptable.
More socially acceptable.
Yeah, like what's wrong with a girl or with a challenging a man or a man challenging a woman? What's wrong with mixed wrestling? I don't get it, I'm not doing anything bad. I'm not selling my soul because I'm wrestling a guy. So I just, I don't know. I'm confused by it all. I don't see anything wrong, so I don't see why other people would find it
There's
wrong.
absolutely nothing wrong. But maybe people see it as more of a sexual, sexual thing than an athletic.
I don't go into a wrestling session thinking, ooh, sex.
Yeah, of course.
Never.
Yeah.
The guy might, but the guy's going to be disappointed because he ain't going to get none. He's just going to get my ass in his face, and I'm going to tell him to kiss it.
Maybe that's exactly what he wants. You know that, right?
But that's all he's getting.
All right. Okay. My next question would be about Session Girls.
Yeah.
Now, Session Girls, you started it about 8 years ago, close to 8 years ago. And tell me about how you started it, why you started it, and let's talk about the start of Session Girls.
Session Girls came about because of pretty much, we all know WB270. That's the main site as far as a directory site for men to find women who offer athletic sessions. So I always used to have to contact the owner of WB270 and ask him to change my profile or change things within my profile.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why can't girls just manage them themselves? And that's where the idea of Session Girls came. Girls being able to post their own photos, being able to post their travel, being able to post events, being able to, just have control over their own information and being able to post it. So that's where Session Girls came from.
And it has now grown to become one of the instrumental websites for the sessioning scene. And Do you know how many profiles are there on Session Girls right now?
I haven't checked, but I know that there's over 1,000.
Over
Now,
1,000.
how many of those are active?
Yeah.
I don't know. I say a good 800 of them are active.
Active. And how much money do you make each month from Session Girls?
I make not a penny. It's all
Really?
It's all volunteer work up to this point. But I'm hoping to change that in the future by monetizing the site and letting that site become a source of revenue. But it's not just for myself, it's for other girls too.
Okay.
By, like, for example, letting them sell video clips on the site.
Yeah.
That'll give them a chance to make money. And then I would take a percentage of that, just like clips for sale, and make some money too. I like win-win scenarios, except in sessions. It's going to be a win-lose scenario.
Oh, Jennifer, that's absolutely admirable, the job you have done with Session Girls. Like, if I were a session provider, well, this would be, I'd be writing you, how do you call, praising you all over the place and writing emails thanking you for maintaining such a place. But regarding monetization, right? It costs money. You've been working. You've been keeping Session Girls up at a loss, right? Each month you pay the server fees, and of course there's people that help you, and you spend a lot of time, especially now that there are more people. There are also more, profiles that you have to review and maybe take down.
Yeah, it's a job.
It's a job. Yeah, it's a job.
Yeah.
And considering that, now we talked about the possibility that you might make it a video marketplace, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you considered? Oh, there's something going on.
Oh, pretty cool.
It's really nice.
Well, the girl needs to be doing that to the guy.
That's true. When I zoomed in, I was a little bit disappointed. But anyway. Let's go this way.
Okay.
Have you thought about like a membership plan, like so that each profile would pay like $10, $15, whatever it is, monthly?
Yes, I've thought about that, and people have been telling me not to do it.
Okay.
Because they don't think the girls will like that I'm charging them a monthly membership to be providing a service on Session Girls or allowing them to promote themselves. I see it as the girls that do pay are the ones that are serious about the business. And the ones that don't want to pay, well, obviously, they don't really care. And I think it would kind of like weed out a lot of girls that maybe don't belong on the site anyways.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because I want my site to be a legit site. I want it to be like, if a man is coming there for a mixed wrestling session or a mixed boxing session or whatever, that they're going to find girls that actually provide that service.
Yeah.
I hate false advertising. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. So
And it will also help you improve the site, right?
yes.
If you have extra funds, if you have extra money coming in from the site, it'll help you improve it, add new services to it, maybe hire a programmer or whatever,
Right.
get a bigger server, better server, whatever.
Right. I think it would just. It's not about me making money, I guess, to go shopping with. It's
Yeah,
more
exactly.
about reinvesting it and providing even a better service for everybody. And then, maybe I'll buy myself something here and there, but.
But it's absolutely admirable. I'm telling you, for so many years you've been operating the website at a loss. I mean.
But it's a part of.
Thank you very much, Jennifer.
Thank you. It's a part of who I am.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like when I started pro wrestling.
Yeah.
It was all about WWE, and that meant so much to me.
Yeah.
And it still does. It's part of me. And Session Girls has become a part of me. I can't not let go of Session Girls.
Yeah.
Because I believe in it. I believe in women who kick men's asses. I'm very passionate about that. So I don't want to lose that ever. So, yeah.
About passion. Now, how often do you see wrestlers that are really passionate about what they do, as opposed to people who are just in it for money temporarily and then disappear in a couple of years or in 3-4 years? They find something, better, and they move on. And do you see this difference between wrestlers and?
I hear about it from the clients,
From the
like
clients.
from the guys. They'll kind of let me know who they've sessioned with, where they're like, "Oh yeah, she didn't care about the session. She just wanted my money,"
Okay.
And I go, "Well, that's very unfortunate because it not only gives him a bad taste
Yeah.
or a bad feel, but it's not good for the business overall, because I think a majority of the girls actually really do enjoy it.
Okay.
But you're going to get those few that are in it just for the money, and they don't give a shit about you. All they want is the money out of your wallet, and that's it. I wish there weren't, but I guess in any profession you're going to have that.
Yep.
So, I mean, for me, I'm fortunate because I just feel like I get to do what I love to do and I get paid to do it. So, it's fun. I mean, I want to say I would do it for free, but I'm not going to say that. But I really enjoy wrestling. I mean, I started with wrestling. I started with pro wrestling before I even got into session wrestling.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show, as far as proof for me, that I really love wrestling. But the money is great. I never realized that you could get paid so much money to squeeze men.
I mean, you have dedicated a big part of your life to session wrestling and to pro wrestling, etc. It was obvious. You are one of the very few active women on the male versus female forum, and you've been acting from the beginning, taking part in discussions that don't involve those discussions where you can seek some personal gain, etc. You've just been a part of community, which has been awesome. And I don't know if I've said it to you before, but I admire that very much, because that is so rare.
Thank you.
And people would like more, more to get to know their wrestlers more, to be in contact with them and to understand their personalities and to know that they care about what they do. It's not just something that's just here temporarily for them.
Right. It's I've always been, I'm curious about how the men think and what they want.
Okay.
So your forum is definitely the perfect place to go to find that stuff out. And it doesn't have anything to do with how is knowing how the men think how am I gonna gain from that? It has nothing to do with, it's more of a fascination with it.
You're just part of the community.
Right. Yeah. So, and I like being part of the community. It's been a wonderful experience since I started, and I hope it continues for many more years to come.
Okay. Now I had no questions for this interview, so I hope the viewers forgive me when I say that I have to check the topics that I did actually write down, which I wanted to talk about. So the next topic would be the idea of the other side. You just mentioned actually something about it in the interview with Bill Wick that you made about 2 years ago, maybe 1 year ago.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned that he wanted to do an interview with you about the other side, and it never came about. Like you never did it. Maybe you didn't have time. Maybe you didn't go there. But what do you think he means when he says that he wants to know about the other side? Like that, is there an expectation in the community that the woman involved in the sessions, like the women providing sessions, are as excited, be it psychologically, be it sexually, be it whatever, about the sessions as they are? Do you think there's an expectation, or there's a hope, let's say? May I rephrase? I'll rephrase the question if you want.
No. You don't
No?
have to rephrase it.
Okay.
I kind of get it.
Okay.
For me personally,
Yeah.
I have a total 100% psychological turn on.
Okay.
Okay? I love it when I am dominating a man.
Okay.
Do I get sexually aroused? By
No.
no means. No,
Okay.
I don't. It's all up in here.
Okay.
For other women, it could be different. The ones I know personally, I think they're kind of like along the lines that I am. They just, it's more of a psychological thing,
Psychological thing.
but
So for some people, it is something temporary. For some people, it's something that they can make quick money at. For some people, it's fun. For some people, it's where they get real psychological joy out of it, like they enjoy it, right? Okay, well, I guess I should leave that to Bilvik because I don't really know exactly what he meant by saying he wants to get what the other side is feeling.
Yeah.
For example, I can tell you what a person feels when he's scissored and he feels squashed. He feels a little bit of pain, discomfort, and there's excitement in it, yes, for people who like it.
right. And there's excitement for people like me who like giving it, you know?
Right.
So it's about the giver and the receiver. And, it might be more of a sexual element for the man,
Yeah.
but for the woman, I think it's more of a psychological excitement.
Psychological.
So it's a combination of the two. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Let's talk about the sessions themselves. Yeah. Since we are in the topic of sessions, what are the most common type of sessions that you get? What is the most common type of opponent? What is the most common type of desire? Maybe or holds. Do you have certain like stereotypes of people that come to you? Like somebody wants to win, somebody wants to actually beat you, or somebody wants you just to sit
I hate
on him?
those. I hate the men that really try to beat me
Why?
because I really have to work at putting them in their place.
Okay.
I don't like to sweat. Playing. Everybody pretty much knows kind of what I offer, which is mixed wrestling and fantasy wrestling, semi comp.
Okay.
I'm not more. I used to be more competitive, but I don't like to fight for my life when in a session. I like my sessions to be fun. I want it to be an exchange, or well, not really an exchange. I don't really want the guy to get a hold on me. I just want it to be a fun experience.
Okay.
I can have a fun competitive experience as long as I'm dominating the entire time. I guess it's kind of like that girl that was with Fight Pulse. She would have enjoyed that fight better, that video, when
Which
she
girl?
wrestled that guy.
Which girl?
And she lost.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
So, but they all range. I mean, scissor sessions. They either ask for scissors. Yeah, scissors or just semi-comp are mostly my sessions.
Okay.
Yeah, and lift and carry,
Lifting camera. You do that quite often,
and
right?
and some belly punching, stuff like that, and boxing. But mostly, almost 95% is wrestling.
LFC, Lingerie Fighting Championships. I know you've been a part of that, and it's something new and something exciting to many people.
Yes,
Tell me about
exciting for everybody but me,
you.
because I'm always the loser.
All right.
Me, a loser? Come on now.
Tell me about it. Tell me, did they disqualify you
Yeah, they
during
they
in one of
suspended me
your
because
fights?
I knocked a girl out basically with a standing punch to the face.
And I guess you weren't allowed to do that. In my mind, if it's a cage fight, it's like no holds bar.
How can you not do that? I mean, is it
Right.
a fighting, or if it's a wrestling? Microphone just disconnected. I think it happened about 20 seconds ago. But we were talking about disqualification in the LFC. And I personally think, now I need to change the battery, but we can speak because I connected the internal microphone for a moment. Yeah, just so.
This is a beautiful park, by the way.
This is called Letna, which means summer park.
I feel the need to run.
It is, yeah, because of the pathways and.
Run that ice cream off.
I think that moment when you got disqualified was the best thing to ever happen in LFC.
Well, thank you. It was not so good of a thing for me. But it was one of those highlighted moments.
One. Yeah, it's working now. Okay. It was the highlight, and I think they still use it, like, for highlights and stuff, don't they? They should.
Yeah, I've seen some, like, I remember Allie Parker, she got a hold of me, she goes, I just saw you on TV, you know, and so I know that they've used that clip for
Yeah, I've used that.
Promoting. You want me to get you your umbrella?
Oh, it's fine, thank you. Yep, okay, now we can continue walking.
So, yeah, it was...
Sorry about that, audience.
It's okay. It's all right. But yeah, that suspension, it was, you know, gave me some time off, I guess. But I thought it was stupid.
Okay.
That's for sure. Just like fight pulse and not allowing chokes in their matches.
What? You're not saying that? But you know, we don't use many of the jiu-jitsu holds. We don't use rear neck chokes. We don't use elbow locks.
Maybe that's why those matches challenged me more, because it kind of took away a lot of cards for me that I usually use.
Okay.
You know, so I had to think of other things, and I don't like to think. I like to just do.
Okay. I was going to ask you about. I did ask you about session opponents, right? All right. I wanted to ask you about Karma Klub.
Yes, Karma Klub.
What is it? How did it come?
Club.
How did it, come about, and why are there two Karma Clubs?
Karma Klub, first of all, my wrestling name used to be Karma years ago, until WWE actually bought my name off of me.
Okay.
So I was no longer able to use Karma as my wrestling name. But it's always, again, Karma has always been a part of my life. And one day I just started thinking, I'm like, beating up men, what would be a great video or something? And I started thinking about men that abuse their wives or girlfriends, basically domestic violence. I'm like, how cool would it be if girls were able to get revenge on the men? Mm-hmm. And the idea of an underground female fight club that trains to go get justice on these men, and call it Karma Klub, because what goes around comes around. And that's how Karma Klub, it kind of developed into now this mini web series that we're trying to create. And anyways, in the meantime, there was a girl out of Las Vegas who was trying to get into the UFC that wanted to do sessions, but she couldn't, she didn't want her face put online. Okay. She needed to keep her identity private. Yeah, okay. So I was trying to think of ways on how I could advertise her, but with keeping her identity safe. And I'm like, well, maybe I can just use Karma Klub as type of an agency to do that for her. And I did do that. But the problem is that there was only a couple of those MMA girls, and it was hard for me to be the booker, going back and forth between the guy and the girl and scheduling and this and that. And so Karma Klub was originally kind of like the web series project that kind of turned into the agency.
So the two ideas just happened, and then you wanted to use their name,
Yeah.
your name in both. So that's how one Karma Club became another Karma Club.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
exactly, you know. Starts with me, Karma, then it starts with the web series, Karma, and then it starts with the agency, Karma.
Okay.
So lots of karma around here. Yeah. But it's all good karma.
It's all meant to do good things.
Now, will it happen? Will the Karma Club, the actual club, happen?
I don't know, will it? Maybe.
What does it depend on?
Are you talking about the MMA?
I'm talking about the MMA sessions.
Yeah.
MMA,
I would
girl-
love for that to happen. The problem is that there's a lot of the MMA sessions. They
Yes.
can't be done in hotel rooms. Okay, they have to be done in like training centers. It's hard for me to get the owners of these training centers to say, hey, can these MMA girls do sessions with men inside your training center?
Okay.
That's been an issue. That's been a roadblock for me. You know, and there's different cities, and to be honest with you, I don't have the time right now
To deal with that?
To deal with it.
So it's one of those things that are on my to-do list,
Okay.
and I'm just not at that point yet.
Okay.
But I know that there's a lot of interest in it, and it's definitely something I am going to get to. It's not something that's going to just fall off to the wayside.
Okay, so I would say the product of the Karma Club is anonymity, right? To people who offer sessions, who would like to offer sessions,
Right.
but are afraid that do not want their names to spread, you know. So you're like an agent, let's
Right.
say, yeah, and organizer for
Right.
that kind of stuff.
And it's hard enough for me to be an organizer for my own stuff right now,
Oh yeah,
you know? So, I mean, you know, maybe when I start charging those memberships, I can hire someone to do this stuff,
true.
you know?
It's true.
Yeah.
And the movies, you're still working on finding
Yes,
finding
yes,
funds
yes.
and sponsorship.
Yes, we
Yeah.
applied for a grant.
Okay.
But we missed it, so we didn't get it. So we're trying to think of other ways on how we could find ways to fund the project.
The movie, the Karma Club
Yeah,
movie.
the Karma Klub movie.
Yep.
You know, and you know, I just don't know which route to take to do that. Because, to be honest with you, I'm not very good for asking for money. I'm good at squeezing the money out of you, but I'm not good at asking for it. So we might start like a Kickstarter, or crowdfunding, or something like that, to provide the funds to get it to where we can create the, you know, to be able to pay the talent and the production costs of getting it done.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's a great concept because every time I talk about Karma Klub, people wonder if it's real or not. Like they're like, is this real? Like, is there really a group of girls out there that's gonna like beat some guy's ass? You know?
And I'm like, hey, you never know.
I like the trailer.
Uh-huh.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
So, I think that concludes the interview
Okay.
for today, because I can't think of any other questions. But if I do, I will turn on the camera.
Yes.
And we
Please
can talk
do.
a little more.
Yeah.
So Jennifer, thank you very much for coming, visiting us in Prague, in Fight Pulse, taking part in the videos and answering the questions, and being such a wonderful human being.
Thank you.
Running SessionGirls and being part of the community,
But guess
writing
what?
a story. Your story won the Story of the Month contest. Yeah, about how
Yeah.
you scissored a guy in
In a Beverly Hills hotel.
And you had a photo of it.
Well, you know what? Same to you. You've done a lot for the community as well.
So you're just more on the male aspect and I'm more on the girl side.
All right.
So I think we both make a difference.
Well, Jennifer, thank you.
Thank you.